welcome back to the Corporate Sustainability Education channel. We're a series of educational podcasts powered by the Southern Sustainability Partnership. So let's get into our fact for this episode. You can now become your very own electricity power pack. In this episode, it's fair to say we're going to jog straight into the world of fitness, and to coin a famous now phrase from Oprah Winfrey, we two uttered what? When we first met fitness entrepreneur Amy Dutfield, and she shared that particular fact with us about becoming our own power pack. The owner of SO51 Fitness, based in Romsey, in the county of Hampshire, England, Amy has combined her passion for fitness and preserving the environment in one, and turned that into an award-winning business. Amy, welcome, and thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
So Amy, we need to put our channel audience out of their misery by telling them exactly what we mean by becoming our own power pack. So can you tell us about that and the concept?
Yeah, I certainly can. It is exactly that. You are your own power pack. So the energy that you create when you come in and train in our gym actually goes somewhere. So how many times have you been in, you've run on the treadmill, you've been on the cross trainer, where does all that energy go? Nowhere. But we do something very different. So inside our CV equipment, there is an inverter inside, and the energy that you create captures up to 74% of that energy that you create and turns it into utility grade electricity. So it physically gets sent the other way back into the local grid. And thankfully for me, it powers my unit. So my members pay my bills, which is great. But it also is such a motivational tool for people. How amazing is it that we can make our energy that we are creating relative, put it into real terms. So you might come in and be able to say, I've charged my phone for an hour, and put your battery straight back to 100% charge. We have real life examples visually in the gym for you as well. So it might be that you've powered a laptop for an hour, you've produced 2 hours worth of electrical watts for a light bulb. So it's all very relative. It's very satisfying. Different way to train, but very satisfying.
I think it's fair to say, actually, it's one of those rare moments or when you get goosebumps and you think, wow, that's incredible. Why didn't we think of it before? But thank goodness we've got people like you, Amy, to bring that to us. I'm very excited. And it's not easy to start your own business, and this is a new business. So arguably you've given yourself a very worthy task, yes, but you've also made that journey much harder for yourself. So what triggered the idea to become an eco gym?
Well, it probably stems back to my childhood, because joking aside, we are products of our parents, and it couldn't be truer in my case. My parents were both very sporty. They met at Sussex University, PE teachers, both very fit and healthy. And the ironic thing is my dad was like kind of Captain Save the Planet while I was a child. He was always the one picking up litter, rather embarrassingly when I was a child. He'd be rooting through my bins and all sorts of lovely things to pick out, any recyclable things. We were one of the first actual towns in the UK to adopt a blue box recycling scheme. Shoreham was kind of put on the map for that reason. And then end up with an eco gym. So you wonder where that came from. But it is kind of like childhood, really. I think that was instilled in me from such a young age, and it was kind of marrying two things that I felt quite passionate about together. How it came about, really, when I relocated my gym in 2018 up to Base Point, I'd heard about this eco equipment before. It's kind of on my radar. I wasn't sure how it works. I wasn't sure of the costs involved or anything at that point. And then, as chance had happened, we had Lemon and Ginger move in, which is Romsey's eco zero waste store. So they're all about kind of single-use, getting rid of single-use coffee cups, plastic-free. And I think their whole ethos as well, it just married up so nicely. And I mentioned it to Jess, the owner, so she sort of spurred me on as well. So lots of encouragement up here. And I went to visit a site that had the equipment to try it, loved it, and kind of went from there. So I step changed. It wasn't all done in one big go. It's quite a minefield, sustainability, and that's the point about it. I think it's there's a really good saying actually that I was taught once, which is it's better to have lots of people doing it imperfectly than one person doing it perfectly, and that's really stuck with me. You can't do everything. I think the misconception is you have to do so much. You don't. You can do very small changes and work towards a sustainable business goal, which is what I've done. I started with going plastic free. It's the very first thing I've done. You think about how many plastic bottles would be wasted in a gym at the end of every day. It's ridiculous. So that was the first obvious step. Doesn't do anything, you don't have to do anything much to change that. You just put in a plastic free policy, sorry. Then I got the equipment changed. I've then moved to sustainable branded clothing. I've got sustainable sourced, packaged up in cardboard protein supplement range. So it's something that's ongoing. I'm by no means done. It interests me to try and reevaluate all the business and look at other things I can do along the way. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. It's a journey. It's not a destination. I haven't got to my destination yet. I'm sure it will evolve as the business does, but I'm enjoying the ride.
Well, I think it's a lovely story that we've got your dad to thank for what you're doing now. So that's amazing. And I think that you can talk to the largest organisations, corporations out there today, and they'll all say the same thing. They might have a lot more investment and money behind them. They haven't got all the answers and they haven't done everything. Yeah. And I think that's where we're all at. We're all on that journey. And as long as we're all on that same road, then that's where we need to be. So, well done for all that you've done so far. It sounds absolutely fantastic. So obviously, you're not a traditional gymnasium. I think we've worked that one out. So can you tell us specifically now about the equipment that you've got at SO51 Fitness?
I certainly can. So it's called Sports Art. It's manufactured in Taiwan. It's an American company that we have franchises all over the world. So as I said, there is an inverter inside that physically captures the power up to 74% of the energy, the output that the person is creating on that piece of equipment, turns it into utility grade electricity and sends it back into the local grid. So equipment wise, that's kind of how it all works. I'm sure that they will build on that themselves. It's not the end of like, here's the kit and that's, so that I'm sure strength resistance will come into play at some point. It'd be great to see rowers doing the same thing, for instance. How that would work with kind of resistance and dumbbells, who knows? But I'm sure the future is looming that way, as you said.
You feel like at some stage we probably will have our own plug-in socket somewhere or something.
No, yeah, anything's possible.
I think to our listeners probably thinking is, how does this equipment look kind of space age, or does it look really pretty much like your normal fitness equipment but it's just that much smarter?
Probably the latter. So it's not unrecognizable, definitely not. It looks probably more substantial, so they're probably larger bits of kit, but they're very modern, so they're lovely looking designs because there's been lots and lots of research that's gone into them. So they're very sleek looking, very high grade, very nice bits of kit, but yeah, not unrecognizable.
Many in our channel audience may already be sporting their own wrist fitness counters. I know they're quite popular. So it must go without saying that with advanced technology that you're talking about, it also tracks your progress. So how does that translate into monitoring your progress against the energy that you've generated?
Okay, so we opted to take out the software package that works kind of seamlessly with our Sports Art kit. That's something you choose to take alongside the kit. Not every place in the UK has that facility, but I did think it was important myself, like you said, that if you want to physically see what you're doing, so it's all well and good if this energy is going somewhere, but it's great to have that personal to you for the motivational purpose. So we have an app, and you can scan in on our QR codes that's on our pieces of CV kit, which brings up your own kind of home screen, and it tracks you as you're working out. So as you're working out, much like the screens you get on the treadmills, it will tell you the time. It will also, the time that you've been working out, it also will tell you how many watts you're generating as you go along. So if you've got that milestone that you want to get to, like I said, we make it all very relatable. So laptop, modem, washing machine, you can get to that next goal. The nice thing about the app, that then feeds through to our live leaderboard system. So we have a big in-club screen, which again ties into the app. So your name will appear on the screen if you want it to, while you're training. So you can get nice and competitive with the person next to you if you like to. And at the end of your workout, when you end your workout, there's a 30-second delay where that will then end your results and it will place you in the leaderboard. So we have incentives ongoing in the club to encourage people to take part, to encourage a bit of competition. It gets all our members engaged, and it really helps create that community, which is what we're all about. Going back to the fact we're called SO51 Fitness, which is our postcode here, we really put our people first. We're all about community, we're all about getting everybody engaged and everybody involved, and the green kit really does that so well. So it's a kind of double whammy of actually helping create green energy, helping protect the planet, and creating this fantastic, like, motivating tool that's never really been seen before. So all round it's just brilliant. Really pleased.
I think, the one thing that you think about with fitness is motivation. And I think you've hit the nail on the head well there, that this is a way that you can create that motivation. But when we say motivation, you're also sending people home motivated, maybe to be that bit greener at home as well.
Exactly.
Yeah, sounds fantastic. So obviously this is a real game changer for fitness in the UK, Amy. But we all know that we also need a game changer to encourage individuals to start to get fit in the first place, and also to maintain that commitment. Of course, attending a gym is great for the environment in one way. You're incentivizing your clients. Are there any other ways in which you're incentivizing them?
Obviously, even if they're not environmentally conscious, not everybody, much as I'd love to think everybody is coming in and they're already wanting to get involved in the kind of sustainability side of the business, that they're not. There's no kidding, there's no two ways about it. Some people, don't have the kind of knowledge about sustainability. Some people don't really know what sustainable is. The amount of people, when I say, actually, I did a kind of brief survey with my own members on this, what does sustainability mean to you? And I have people going, is that vegan? Is that some of the answers that come out are bizarre, but then that goes to show me we need to educate people properly. So yes, I engage them on the green side. That's something that doesn't happen overnight. You slowly bring them in, you educate them on that. But I think it's the sense of community. I'd like to think there's always the barrier of fear when it comes to gyms. I think that's quite widespread, and a lot of people worry. They think, I can't step foot in that gym. I'm too scared because I won't know what I'm doing, because I'm not in great shape. And I would like to think we have created a reputation where we knock down those barriers very quickly. We're very welcoming. There's we're so inclusive in what we do. We create community, and I think the word spreads that way. So I think for myself, I motivate people through making sure they're part of our community. It's so important, and I mean that on a level of not just themselves, their whole family. We're very big on encouraging kids fitness. So we have sessions where they can come along. We have sessions dedicated for kids. We have our own circuit training mats for them called action mats, that we have our own specific class for. So community, as well as this green side, is just so important. And I think that's the way people need to view fitness, gyms, is the whole 360 approach, nutrition as well.
I can see that's a very warm way to come into a gym, because I know what you mean by some people are put off by the idea of everybody being super fit when they walk through the door, but you're putting another element to the reason to go as well, and creating a really great environment by the sounds of it. I can't wait until you open again properly and we can actually come and visit you and find out a bit more about it. Clearly, fitness has been something that's been very much highlighted during the pandemic, and I think it sustained a lot of people throughout that period of time, and actually got people involved in fitness in at all different levels, really, that might not have been much before. And obviously people are very excited about the fact that you're opening up again. So what would you say to those listening to you, why they should visit an eco gym?
Okay, so obviously, people are very familiar with the term, you only get one body to live in, so look after it. Same applies, the saying, there's no planet B. It's the two are intrinsically linked. If you are interested in looking after yourself, you've really got to look after the environment you're living in as well. It's all well and good us looking after our bodies and being healthy, but what about the climate that you're living in? The pollution levels, it's something that people perhaps haven't pay enough attention to. But we like to think of it like that. So yeah, one body, you've got to treat it well, and there's no planet B.
Yeah, let's get into a little bit about the different fitness activities that you have. Is there, obviously you go in and you personally train. Do you have also people that can advise you and put like a personal trainer? Do you have any group activities? Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Yeah, of course. We do absolutely cater for all of the things you've just mentioned. I think people train in very different ways. And again, going back to this kind of putting our community at the heart of what we do, we like to try and cater for everybody. And we don't have a specific type of person that joins our gym. You do have the people that like to come in, chuck the headphones in, get in their zone. It's more, it's a headspace for them. I definitely don't want to be going tapping them on the shoulder and trying to get them involved in a class if that's not how they train. People are stimulated by completely different things. So we offer group exercise, which is great for the kind of social aspect of it. It's very great. It's always good for encouragement when you can train with others. We cater for those people that like to just come in and train and be left to it. Personal training, we do 1-to-1, and we also do 2-to-1, 3-to-1, and 4-to-1. The reason we do that, I think, unfortunately, 1-to-1 personal training can be a bit of a luxury for some people, partly due to costs attached, and people find it very hard to justify 1-to-1 in some cases. So we want to make sure we can deliver that level of service, but perhaps dilute the cost for them. So 2-to-1's brilliant. You then get the added encouragement. If you've got a friend that you want to train with, perfect. Do the PT session and split the cost between you. So that makes it more affordable, but you also get the added encouragement. And then 3-to-1, 4-to-1 as well. So we do up to kind of small group personal training as well.
Thank you. Thank you for that. So I think when people go into a fitness space, whether that's a gymnasium really in the high street or in a centre, or whether that's in a hotel, they think they expect to see a certain type of space, if you like. Is there anything slightly different about your space that you've created because you've got eco in mind?
Oh, everything's different about our space. True to form. I like to be different. So I think when I took the decision to get that eco kit particularly, it was a big investment for myself as a small business owner. A nerve-wracking one, but one that's definitely paid off, which is great. But I thought, right, I don't do things by halves. Let's go all out here. So, and I like to create, cheesy as it sounds, I like to create an experience. I think there's lots of kind of generic gyms out there, nothing wrong with that at all, but they're all very kind of have that factory feel, that the lines of CV kit. I wanted to move away from that. I want people to have that escapism when they come to me. So we have a very green interior. So we have lots and lots of plants, which actually, on a side note, they help purify the air, they help cleanse the air. So there is reasons behind that as well as the aesthetic look of them. But it is very welcoming. We have so our reception is made of wooden pallets. It's all very wooden and earthy kind of feel to it. It is very different looking to your standard type of gym. Yeah, very different.
I think that for our mental well-being, because you're dealing with the fitness, but I think you're also dealing with mental well-being, because I think we are our surroundings, and I think that to get that feel of quirkiness and to go into something different stimulates you completely. So I love the sound of that. It's clear, I said at the beginning, you epitomize an entrepreneur, Amy, you really do. But you're also an eco warrior, I suppose, to coin a phrase. Do you have any aspirations to open anywhere else in the UK?
I have aspirations. The thing is with the gym, like the size, it's a very small gym. I like to think of us as a small gym with a big green heart. So I don't want to dilute what I offer my members. It's a personal offering. We offer a very high level of service because it's small, and I don't have the aspirations to grow the site I'm in at the moment. Absolutely not, because I wouldn't want to dilute what I've built up to. However, what lockdown taught me is the importance, exactly as you said. Why aren't other people doing it? Why aren't they doing it? Why aren't the chains doing it? You imagine how much energy is wasted in huge chains of gyms, showers running, taps running, treadmills left on all night, TVs blasting, stereos blasting. It's something that I feel really passionate about, and more people should do it. So my aspirations are more to spread the word. I've, during lockdown, actually set up something called the Sustainable Gym Association with 2 business partners who have come from slightly different backgrounds, but together we're very confident we can build a platform for other gym owners, other studio owners to do the same, to look at how they can become a sustainable fitness offering. And it's like I said, it's how do we dilute that so that it's not very completely overwhelming for them. And we're suggesting, they rip everything out and start again. Absolutely not. You can step change. And I, having been through this journey myself, or going through this journey myself, should I say, I feel well positioned to advise people on that. How do you do it? Let's take a step back. Let's not do everything at once. For instance, how I started, just got rid of plastic. Step one, easy, no costs involved. You can build on that. We can look at different parts of the business. So yeah, we've built a platform called the Sustainable Gym Association, which at the moment is where my other energy, when I do have any windows of time, which is not very much with 2 small children to juggle as well, but I will be spending some time building that platform as well. So that's where my energy is currently focused, as well as my small little green jungle gym.
Amy, thank you so much for joining us
No
on the podcast today. Very excited when we met you to find out what you were doing, and we knew that this would be a great topic to bring to our channel listeners. Obviously, it's both enlightening and inspirational, your story. So we will be including a link to your website so that people can find out more. Obviously, your association is very important for people to find out about. It might be that other gyms could get in touch with you for sure and be inspired by your own journey to see what they can do. So thank you very much, and we will keep up with what you're doing and maybe bring you back to tell us more as things progress, and maybe when you get more into this is the association that you've set up, maybe we could look at that in more detail in the future. So in the meantime, do book to join us for the big sustainability expo on the 28th of October, everybody. And that's at St Mary's Stadium, Southampton. And we'll see you in the next podcast. Thank you very much for watching, and thank you very much for listening. Bye.